Hello and welcome to Scrapbook and Cards Today. I'm Mirisha and I'm so excited to be crafting with you today. In today's tutorial, I'll be creating 2 clean and elegant cards using the beautiful June 2026 Let's Stamp Together kit designed by Catherine Pooler. So let's go ahead and get started. This month's kit is absolutely packed with creative possibilities. Inside, you'll find a coordinating stamp with matching dies, a coordinating stencil set, and a bold chow sentiment that ties everything together beautifully. I'm beginning with 2 cardstock panels cut to the same size that will become the backgrounds for both cards. I'll place the first panel into my MISTI and use a piece of mint tape to mask off the bottom portion of the cardstock. This creates a clean stopping point for our stamped pattern and leaves plenty of open space for our sentiments and focal images later on. I then selected the images from the stamp set and positioned the stamps on the panel. After positioning the stamps, I'll ink them with Catherine Pooler Pebble ink before stamping the first impression. Then next, I'll clean the stamps, reposition them around the panel, ink them once again, and continue stamping. I'll simply repeat this process until the background feels balanced and full. Don't worry about perfectly spacing every image. Rotating your stamps and allowing different amounts of space between them actually creates a more natural, hand-stamped look. Think of your background as a puzzle rather than a pattern. Once I'm happy with the arrangement, I can carefully remove the mint tape to reveal that crisp, beautiful design line. I repeated the exact same process on my second panel to create another background. I just positioned the mint tape a little lower on the panel. Of course, if you'd rather have a full background covering the entire panel, you can absolutely continue stamping all the way to the bottom. Another tip I like to keep in mind is varying the direction of each image. Turning your stamp slightly helps prevent your eye from recognizing a repeating pattern, giving your background much more movement and visual interest. Next, I'm bringing in a strip of brushed gold cardstock and adhering it along the edge where the stamped pattern ends. I absolutely love incorporating metallic cardstock into my projects. Metallic cardstock doesn't just add shine, it also acts as a visual divider. Here it creates a beautiful transition between the pattern area and the clean white space while adding a touch of elegance without overpowering the design. Now it's time to stamp the fun glasses and greenery for our projects. I'll stamp enough images to create 4 glasses along with several of the greenery, so I have enough pieces for both cards. Instead of coloring everything with markers, I'm using ink to quickly add color. For the drink inside the glasses, I'm using Picked Raspberry Distress Oxide ink, and the olive branches are stamped using Rustic Wilderness. And then for the lemon slices, I'm using Mustard Seed. Using colored ink to stamp solid images is a fantastic time saver. It creates smooth, even color in just one impression, making it perfect when you're creating multiples. Of course, if you'd like even more depth and shading, these images would also look beautiful colored with alcohol markers, watercolor, or colored pencils. That flexibility makes this kit so much fun to customize. Next, it's time to assemble the first card, but before I adhere anything down, I like to take a moment to play around with the die cut placement. This gives me the opportunity to experiment with different layouts and make sure I have enough room for both my focal images and sentiment. Next, I'll adhere the large child die cut sentiment toward the bottom left side of the panel. Then I'll stamp the coordinating sentiment just beneath it. Savor every day. I love pairing a bold die cut sentiment with a smaller stamped greeting because it creates a beautiful focal point while keeping everything balanced. Then I'll bring in the drinking glasses along with the greenery. Here's another fun tip as well. Before reaching for adhesive, try taking a quick photo of your arrangement with your phone. Looking at the design through your camera often helps you notice if something needs to shift before committing everything in place. To add extra interest, I'll use foam adhesive behind the glasses. This little bit of dimension helps bring the focal image forward while the greenery remains tucked underneath. Finally, I'll adhere the completed panel onto an A2 top folding card base, and then I'll finish coloring the olives with my Copic marker just to add a little more detail. And just like that, card number 1 is complete. Now let's use many of the same elements to create a completely different design. I'll begin by adhering another strip of brushed gold cardstock to my stamped panel. This time, instead of leaving the bottom white, I'll add a piece of the soft blush cardstock. I cut the Bellini cardstock using the same rectangle die that I used to die cut the white panel. And as you see, I'm adhering the colored cardstock to the bottom of the panel. And then after adhering it, I'll simply flip the panel over and trim away the excess. I use the edges of the panel as my guide to trim away the excess. Not only does this save time, but it also guarantees perfectly flush edges every single time. Now, you do have the option as well to use a paper trimmer instead of your scissors. Now that the panel is complete, it is time to move on to the next step. I then cut a small rectangle from white cardstock. Using tumbled glass distress oxide ink, I'll softly blend a hint of color into the center. I don't want heavy blending here, just enough color to create a subtle background behind the focal image. Once that's finished, I'll adhere the panel onto a brushed gold mat. I love how that metallic frame instantly elevates the design. Now I'll arrange my cocktail glasses and the olive branches onto the panel. After I'm happy with the placement, I'll stamp the sentiment before adhering everything into place. I encourage you to don't be afraid to move and adjust your die cuts before committing with adhesive. Sometimes shifting an element just a little here or there can completely improve the balance of the card. Finally, I'll adhere the completed focal panel to the card front, followed by the finished card base. And just like that, card number 2 is complete. I absolutely love how these two cards came together. Although they use many of the exact same supplies, simply changing the layout completely transforms the finished design. That's one of my favorite ways to stretch the value of a card kit, by thinking beyond one layout and exploring multiple design possibilities. I hope today's projects have inspired you to create your own custom stamped backgrounds and experiment with different layouts using just one stamp set. Sometimes the smallest changes, a little ink blending, a metallic accent, or a fresh arrangement of your focal images can completely transform the design. Thank you so much for spending a little crafty time with me today here at Scrapbook and Cards Today. Until next time, I'm Mirisha, wishing you lots of creativity and happy crafting. Please take care.